Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bellevue for this interesting fixture between Wakefield Trinity and Leeds. I'm Ian Brook. With me in the commentary is Stuart Duffy this evening. With Yorkshire Cup finalists, the winners have just taken the field. I'll quickly go through the team. At fullback is Gary Spencer. On the wing is David Jones with Andy Mason, Peter Benson and Andy Wilson. On the other flank, half-backs, man of the match in the Yorkshire Cup final, Nigel Wright, with Jeff Bagnall, the team captain, having such a good game and putting his influence into the team. Front row, Mark Webster, Nigel Bell and John Glancy. Dan and Fritz with Gary Price in the second row and Richard Slater at loose forward. The subs are Billy Conway and Richard Goddard. So it's the same 15 that did so well against Sheffield on Sunday. I'll hand you over to Stuart to read you the Leeds team and just give a few comments.
Well, interesting game as you said, Ian. Leeds of course had a 20 points to 4 lead here last season and threw it away in the last half of the second half. And I'm sure it'll be a similar sort of thing this evening. It'll be a hard game, close game, and Leeds without the three international players, Howard Hanley, Gary Schofield and Alan Tate. A tremendous win for Wakefield on Sunday in the Yorkshire Cup final. They'll be absolutely cock-a-hoop tonight. That could set their season alight. And for Leeds, they line up with John Gallagher at full-back, Vince Fawcett, Carl Gibson, Marvin Edwards and Jim Fallon are the three quarters. Jay Guinness and Andy Gregory. The halves, Andy Gregory making his first appearance for 6 weeks. Steve Malloy, James Lowes, Sean Wayne at the front row. Gary Mercer, Paul Dixon and Andy Goodway making up the pack. Colin Maskell and Mike O'Neill substitutes.
Thanks, Stuart. Just before the game gets underway, how do you think this Leeds team will perform without the three internationals, Stuart?
Well, the last couple of weeks that Leeds have played this, it seems to have been a good defensive effort from them. It was a bit difficult at Wigan. It's difficult always to go to Wigan, and Wigan were in tremendous form. In fact, David Creaser told me that the first half display by Wigan against Leeds was the best he'd ever seen Wigan play. But against Warrington we played well. It's going to be difficult. Gary Schofield, of course, such an influential player, and Ellery Hanley, never less than 35, 36 tackles a game. Somebody's got to find them from somewhere. I think it could be a very close and interesting game this evening. It could be a gamble on Wakefield's part. They've lost the crowd that they would have got if it had been on a Sunday, but I'm sure they'd welcome the 2 points.
I think basically that's, with having three internationals out, that's why they've took the gamble and hoped for a win just to get that first 2 points. A league win tonight is so important. I know Dave Topley said that loved the league points as much as he's loved winning the Yorkshire Cup. At the end of the season, it's no good winning the Yorkshire Cup and being playing second division rugby. So Leeds are going about to kick off down towards the dressing room end. It's Gallagher that puts boot to ball. Bagnall gives it to David Jones to run out on the 20-metre line. Bagnall there at acting half-back, dictate most of the play. John Glancy taking up strong. Forwards early first few minutes, but testing one another out. Some strong work there from Mark Webster, manages to get to Nigel Bell. Here comes Gary Price, just recently got back in the first team, having been out through injury. So Wakefield trying to get some. That looked a little bit high. Mr. Morris said you should there, around his chest. Back to him, Nigel Wright has had the kick charge down. Unlucky for Leeds. That could have been a quick try on the board there, such early, Stuart.
Yes, good thinking there by Paul Dixon, up quickly there, and the bounce of the ball just beating him. And been very impressed with young Nigel Wright, what I've seen in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, young lad full of promise, only 18 and got a long future in the game, I believe. So it's Wakefield heading ball, still in their own 20. As Stuart said, there's been a good defensive displays from Leeds over the past few weeks, so we'll see what tonight brings. Slater there, just a nice little sidestep, just makes a few yardage, valuable yardage. Here comes Mark Webster, trying to find them gaps. He's found a lovely gap. Hands on to Nigel Bell, just couldn't control the ball, so Leeds then in possession for the first time. It's Gregory trying to get his side moving. So Leeds then in Wakefield's territory. That's Loud to acting half back, gives it to Gary Mercer, slips the ball out to Jim Fallon there, but he's quickly taken down over on the far touchline. So Leeds with Andy Gregory just going to motivate his lads, trying to get him going. Lovely long ball to Gallagher. Fitted nice into the line there. Still going to bring it over to the right. Gallagher to Marvin Edwards. Marvin Edwards not so as late as one first thought, was it, Stuart?
Well, it looked like he'd got a serious knee injury, but it turned out to be just bruising of his cruciate ligament, and he's back in the side and fit. So it's good to see, because Leeds would have been struggling, I think, for 3 quarters without Marvin being fit today.
So it's Leeds then in possession. Andy Gregory, number 10, that's Sean Wayne is. So it's Leeds then making inroads. Here comes Loans. Looks like a good buy from Hunslet. Still to be decided from the tribunal. It's Gary Mercer then. Leeds with all the play so far in the Trinity half. These first few minutes. Still taking it up strong. Lovely little ball there. Getting inside the Wakefield 20 now. The 10 metres from the Wakefield line. Gregory again moves it out to Mercer. A little run round. This is out to Gibson. Gibson long ball. Gibson's got the winger in. Yes, that's a try. Good try to Leeds. So first points on the ball to Leeds. Through Vince Fawcett there. Stuart, good try. Good opening try for Leeds. Moved the ball well.
Yes, they moved the ball right across there. Paul Dixon did well driving in at the far side. And Andy Gregory, a lovely ball out there to Carl Gibson. And thought Carl was going to go all the way, but as he fell in the tackle, he got a nice ball out to Vince Fawcett, and despite the attention to Gary Spencer, he managed to get over in the corner. That's just the start Leeds wanted.
So that's Leeds 4, Wakefield 0. We've been going about 6 minutes now. So Wakefield early setback there. Must be full of confidence after their good win on Sunday, but it's the league points they need. Nigel Wright going to restart play. Andy Goodway coming strong, going to flick the ball over the top, but doesn't manage it. Leeds looking very purposeful tonight. Haven't had a match for about 10 days. Goes it to acting half back then to John Wayne. Gregory again. Tried a little interception, but here come Leeds, but that's a little knock on there from Craig Innes, and referee's going to bring play back just to the halfway, but Leeds have settled down pretty good in these early stages, Stuart.
Yes, and showing their intentions straight away, and they're intending to play football tonight, not take it up the middle. That was a lovely ball from Andy Gregory there. Looks well on form again, Andy.
Have they been tending to take it up the middle in the last few games then?
Yes, it's tended to be a bit tight, and when they played Waddington it was very tight, of course, and Wigan's cover defence was absolutely tremendous, and Leeds were stuck to just bowing down the middle and not making much ground.
So Wakefield then in possession centre field. Want to get up towards this Leeds line, but Leeds defence holding strong, right on the halfway line. Centre field. Bagnall wants it this way. Got Mark Webster. Mark Webster met by the defence of Leeds. Bagnall moves it wide. Nigel Wright moves it even wider. Lovely little dummy there from Gary Spencer. Looked a bit forward there. Yes, I think Mr. Morris was right on the spot there. That looked forward from our spot there, Stuart.
Yes, we're right in line in, and that was definitely forward. I think he's right there, Colin Morris.
This is Craig Innes then. Brings Jim Fallon on into the ball. He's short of the halfway. Moles in, acting halfback again. Gary Mercer. That's some storming runs as Gary Mercer gets the ball out to Gibson. Gallagher gives in at acting halfback. So Gallagher's going to run off centre field on his own. Lows in again at acting halfback. Gregory, Sean Wayne, he's given them both. Gives it to Craig Innes on the ball. Slips a one-handed pass out. Lovely ball with Jim Fallon there. So it's all Leeds at this moment, playing some nice open football. Gregory instigating most of their moves. Mercer, good long wide ball. Missing men out, Gibson there. Gibson looks to have a good run to the line. Benson can't touch him. Oh, he just slips just short of the line, and Gary Spencer makes the tackle, but it looked all on the Leeds try. There's loads of gaps there for Leeds to get into, but a long wild pass, but still keeping it. And another long wild ball. It gives Andy Mason freedom, but Leeds should have scored there, Stuart.
Yes, that's a lot off for Wakefield. Leeds should certainly have scored. Carl Gibson just electing to go on his own. Looked to have the legs, but he just slipped as he was going over. And then a bad pass from acting half. I thought Leeds would probably been in there. Ian.
Wakefield haven't settled down at all into the form that they showed on Sunday, but Leeds have got straight into there, Stuart, and playing some good stuff.
It's attractive football they're playing tonight. Andy Gregory's made such a difference. It's just amazing how much Leeds have actually missed in the last few weeks.
Yeah, such a great player, Great Britain scrum half. Well, ex-Great Britain scrum half now, but he's got all the tricks. Been in the game a long time, and does such a good job for teams. As John Glancy comes up and takes it hard into the work in the Leeds half. And comes Big Fritz. It's Nigel Bell in at acting half-back. Dummies Nigel Bell from acting half-back. Looks a little bit high. Yes, Mr. Morris right on the spot, and probably only the second penalty of the night. Stuart's been such a clean game to start with.
It has, and I think Colin Morris right there. This new rule they've brought in where you've got to tackle below the shoulder. Just a bit high, nothing dangerous in it, which is Roehampton, a sin or anything. But just bang on there, Colin Morris.
There's been a lot of controversy with these head eyes, Stuart. Some weeks you see them happening, and next week they let off. You know, it's some players they don't know what's happening, do they?
Well, it seems a very grey area. I did see on the club video the one that Brendan Tulter did at Featherstone, which got him a 3-match suspension, and it was no worse than that at all. In fact, it didn't look as bad.
No, I think anybody that saw the video, it's seen Fisher, the one before, and that was even twice as bad. And it just shows what you get for appealing, because he got an extra match. So it's going to be Benson then with the penalty attempt at goal. He's 35 metres out. It's a dead straight kick, well within his range. The crowd cheering behind the post signals that is successful. So after 10 minutes, that's Leeds 4, Wakefield 22. It's going to be Gallagher to restart. Nice long kick down. Bagnall again fielding it. Gives it to Gary Price. Here comes John Glancy. He's met solid by, it's like Steve Malloy or Sean Wayne there. Richard Slater, another big lad that really does get stuck into that tackling. Here comes Big Fritz. Had a storming game on Sunday, makes some telling runs from that second row position. Bagnall then, nice little kick downfield. Going to go into touch, going to beat Gallagher. In a touch, goes about 40-50 yards up this touchline side, goes into touch 3 metres before the 20. So that's going to be a heading ball to Leeds at the scrum. Andy Gregory looks to have had a little bit of a knock, Stuart. I didn't see anything happen there.
No, I didn't. He was taking his time walking back there, and Stuart Walker just been on to see to him. Let's hope it's nothing serious.
Oh, one against the head. We don't see many of them, and it's Wakefield then on the attack, moving the ball wide. Spencer to Mason. Mason with room. David Jones there, I think, we're just overrunning him a little bit, but that brings to play within 10 metres of the line, and looks like Big Darren Fritz has spilled the ball there with a golden opportunity of putting pressure on the Leeds try line. So Leeds then in possession. Touch judge's flag's gone up for something. Can't actually see what's happened there, but spilt the ball and ruined the chance there, Wakefield, Stuart.
Yes, a good win against Ed. You'll see that, as you say nowadays, Ian, and Wakefield had a glorious opportunity there. Fritz spilled the ball, and I think that the player just, Gary Spencer, I think it was, or David Jones, just holding down in the tackle. But it looks like the penalty could go the other way. Jim Fallon probably kicking out in.
Yeah, he's pulled the Leeds player out, as you say, Stuart. Yes, he has, so I didn't see anything that happened there. We're a long way off. Probably noticed that on the video. Be able to write in and tell us what happened, so we can get it right next time. So they're going to take a tap at Wakefield. What's he given there?
Well, he's given there that the man didn't release the ball from his hands when he tapped the ball against his foot.
So it's going to be a scrum, so that'll be head and feet to Leeds. Don't often you see many of them as well. Probably going through the rule book tonight is Mr. Morris. That's a good tackle on Gregory from the Wakefield defence. The crowd right behind him down that end of the ground, and hoping to pin Leeds here with some good strong tackling, but the Leeds pack with Wayne, Malloy, Dixon, Mercer will be on in the clearest 20-metre line. James Lowe's in at acting half back there. Sean Wayne there makes a good yardage. Forwards coming on strong. Gary Mercer. It's going to be a kick downfield, is it? Looking for Gallagher. Manages to under pressure, but gets a nice kick downfield, just relieves a little bit of pressure. David Jones picks up, and a good chase from the Leeds cover. So Nigel Belling taken there by Malloy and Lowe's, and that's a good run there from Mark Wexler, having some good games, some good big games. Nigel Wright, good long ball to Slater, nice long ball to Andy Wilson, manages to get it at the next attempt, but the Leeds cover Gibson and forces him into touch. Plays like a soldier defence, Leeds, and then move quickly out to the wing, Stuart.
That's right, Leeds play this sliding defence across all the time, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think it tends to be a bit bad against their own line, and Miss Colin Morris there not very happy with something that had gone on. That was a look like another win against Eden Ball. But the Leeds, when the sliding defence works, it did up to last Christmas, it was tremendous.
Yeah, it looked like one against the head, Murray, to Wakefield, and probably Stuart Morris don't like to win a game, Stuart. Probably don't think that those things happen in the modern era. So it's Leeds then in possession, still inside their own half. Wakefield penalised through Richard Slater holding down on Craig Innes. So it's going to be Gallagher then preferring to place kick. There isn't much wind blowing tonight, but must feel a little bit happier than kicking out of his hands. Brings play down to within 10 metres of the Wakefield 20-metre line. It's going to be Lowe's with a tap. Gives it to Fawcett. No, a little dummy. Then gives it to Malloy. Malloy makes good yardage into the Wakefield 20. Gregory drops off Dixon. Dixon comes on another run back the other way. Lowe's again. Gregory. Wakefield caught offside under the own post. So that's Wakefield caught 3 penalties on the trot there, Stuart.
Yes, that's bad discipline there for Wakefield. A mile offside, the man there, and that's gifted Leeds because John Gallagher doesn't usually miss these.
So Leeds hoping to extend the lead then. That's successful, so Leeds 6, Wakefield 2. Nigel Wright then. And the kick off again. Wakefield penalised again, offside, so that could be 4 on the trot, so Leeds elect to take the tap. Going to be James Lowe's. James Lowe's again. Dummy half. Good way with Mercer in support, but didn't get him. It's Craig Innes. Deganist, nice little short ball to Edwards, but play keeps going as Crowds goes well. Say it with a forward pass. That looks like Jim Fallon, and he's tackling the touch. James Lowe seems to have fitted in well with the lead set up rather quickly, Stuart.
Yes, he made his debut against Warrington. He came on at hooker. It's the first time he played hooker, but he's fitted in very well. He's a tremendously strong player and a good ball handler, Ian.
Yeah. These positions now like hooker are not the specialist positions of old in the modern game, are they, Stuart?
No, that's right. Just somebody that's mobile and with a good pair of hands, and that's in half-back can be hooker nowadays, Ian.
So it's Wakefield then. Bagnall trying to get his team going, trying to lift them. Does a similar job for Leeds as Gregory does for Wakefield, as Gregory does for Leeds. Here he comes again, trying to get players running off him. Nice ball out to Andy Wilson. Stops Fawcett, but just manages to keep out to touch. Bagnall again to Nigel Wright. Nice long ball to Slater. A little bit, it's took a bit of a knock there as the Leeds player. It looks like Marvin Edwards and must have lost possession there. Richard Slater took in every band. So it's Leeds in possession. 10 metres from the Wakefield 20-metre line. Goodway gets the ball out to Lowe's again. Busy little player, he one-handed pass to Dixon. Dixon, with that familiar run of his with ball tucked under one arm. It's Leeds, still in Wakefield territory, still putting pressure on Gregory. Nice little ball, but Wakefield are going to get possession there, just past, not going to a hand. So we start again at one. David Jones has a little run on his own from acting half-back. Andy Mason, he's having a little run against his old teammates. So it's Bagnall. Wider to Nigel Wright. Long looping pass to Andy Wilson, using this ply a bit, but Andy Wilson shoved in a touch, and with his sliding defence, Stuart, these long balls out to the winger, they kind of got it spotted.
Yes, Leeds working, the sliding defence working very well this evening. I've been very impressed with the tackling of Vince Fawcett. But that is the sort of thing that can beat the sliding defence. Another thing, of course, is a short kick near the line.
So we'll see if that comes to into place, Stuart. So it's Leeds then, Innes. Gives it to Fawcett, who comes in field. He's tackled more or less right on the centre. Gibson having a little run on his own. It's a few yards. Lows to Gregory. Got Mercer with him, but likes to have a little run on his own. Been out for a few weeks now, and it's his first game back, so he's very competitive. Is Andy. He'll be wanting to get there, buzzing about, getting his teammates going, organising them. It is first man, but it goes to Mercer, and that's a good tackle by Richard Slater. So we're on the fifth and last, working it to the blind. Gregory puts a little grubber kick through, where Gary Spencer just touches it with his foot, brings the ball away. He's also playing against his old team. Wakefield signing from Leeds. Here comes Benson, drops inside to Andy Wilson, but Andy Goodway covering across there like a good loose forward, makes the tackle. Nigel Bell, strong and hard is Nigel. He takes some pulling down. 100% workhorse is Nigel. Bagnall across to Nigel Wright. Nigel Wright trying to make openings, not falling for it. Leeds this time though. Wakefield still in their own half of the field. Bagnall gets big Darren Fritz on a short ball, but he's met by 3 Leeds defenders there. So it's going to be a kick for field position. That's straight down Gallagher's throat, and he picks up. Gets the ball out to Jim Fallon. So Leeds prepared to open it up, and as he shoved him into touch, yeah, that's bad play from Leeds there, Stuart.
Yes, bad play from Leeds. I thought John Gallagher should have hung on to that ball, but if it had come off, that would have been a sparkling try if he'd have got down the side, but Jim Fallon not coming far enough away from the touchline side, and that's the end of possession.
Yes, Stuart. So Wakefield then with possession. Haven't had enough playing the Leeds 20, have they, Stuart, to put any pressure on Leeds at all yet?
No, most of the play's been in the midfield area, and what pressure has been exerted mostly by Leeds. And I think we'll see a different game if Wakefield get some possession down in that 20 quarter there, you know.
So it's Wakefield then through Bagnall, trying to inspire his teammates, get them motivated. Got Mark Webster coming up the middle. The Wakefield pack coming out second best so far this evening against the Leeds. Moving it wide. A lot of flat ball though. David Jones still. Tush should just put his flag up. I think something's happened off the ball. There's a player laid down there. There's in fact 2 Wakefield players laid down. So something looks like it's happened there, Stuart.
There's something happened there. Somebody, I think, tackled after he passed the ball, David Jones. I didn't quite see what happened. But Jones has certainly been poor action. I think the middle lad in the middle of the field is Mark Webster that's injured. But Touch Judge spotted something. It looks like it'll be a penalty to Wakefield in.
Yeah, Mark Webster, I think he just got the knock in there. It was just a good heart-crunching tackle by the Leeds pack. Is he pulling out Marvin Edwards? Looks like he's going in the... Well, it looks like he's walked then, Stuart.
Yes, Marvin Edwards walked for that late tackle on David Jones, so that's set the tone now. Players will have to watch the P's and Q's, otherwise there'll be somebody else following him to the dressing room.
He's been unlucky this year because he's had a few late tackles himself, has Marvin.
He certainly has since he came here. He's had tremendous amounts of concussion from late tackles, and interesting that only one player was sent off. That was at Warrington in last season.
I remember one he got off Smales at Headingley, which was a beauty.
Yes, the Featherstone fans didn't think that was a high tackle, but there was blood absolutely pouring from his mouth. And I think that was the same game that Tulta got sent off, and there was a lot of trouble about that.
Yeah, I was out watching it on telly. I got a bit of blood. So Wakefield then. Leeds down to 12. Can they capitalise on this? Edwards has had to go off the bench. He's had to go to the dressing room. Here comes Big Fritz on the run, and somebody's got hit again. It's like Gary Mercer. You see what happened there, Stuart?
No, it looked like one Wakefield player was tackled by Gary Mercer, and his head came into contact with another one. But there's certainly some lively goings on now. The Wakefield players incensed at something, but now the Touchridge came on, the referee didn't say anything.
No, for Wakefield Leeds encounters, the first quarter of an hour were very quiet. There was no good out tackles or anything. It was more or less like a touch and pass game, and it seemed to liven up in the last 10 minutes.
That's right, it seems to have livened up certainly now, and usually Wakefield and Leeds games are close, still with needle because of the close rivalry. But it's been a bit easy so far, and I think it's starting to alter a bit now here.
The Boxing Day fixture used to be one of note, didn't it? There were a few Christmas presents handed out that day.
Is it one of the highlights of Christmas? We're going to Headingley to watch Leeds and Wakefield, and I'm disappointed that stopped, because I think they were the right opponents for Leeds at Christmas.
I agree with you, Stuart. It used to be a tremendous fixture. I've played in a few there myself. So here comes Benson then, hoping to narrow the gap. He's more or less in front again. Andy Mason looks to be the player that's requiring a little bit of treatment. Looks like a blood bin. So must have got probably a knock on his head. And young Richard Goddard, just 18, who's same age as Nigel Wright. So two 18-year-olds on the field together, which all goes well for Wakefield's future. But it's the problem at present that they need the 2 points. Leeds also needing points, Stuart, to get up that league table.
Yes, it's been a disappointing start of the season for Leeds as well. They've only won the 2 games against Hull, Kingston Rovers and Warrington, and lost at Halifax, at home to St Helens, at Wigan and at Bradford Northern, and I think they could do with the points just as much as Wakefield.
So it's going to be Benson then from in front. And he's successful, so narrows the gap. So after about 29 minutes, it's Leeds 6, Wakefield Trinity 4. So how do you think Leeds will adjust with Edwards? Who do you think will go in the centre then, Stuart?
I think probably Andy Goodway will come out of the pack and go in the centre, or they could put Gary Mercer in. Looking as a line-up now, it looks like it's Andy Goodway. He did play centre at Wigan when the Copton injury Leeds, when Edwards went off and Andy Goodway went into the centre. But Gary Mercer, of course, also a converted centre.
Yes, he played there with Bradford. But yeah, I saw Goodway in the centre last week at Wigan. So it's Wakefield then in possession. Just 6-4 down. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Here comes Big Fritz looking for the gaps. When he opens them legs, he takes some stopping. He's a big lad. So Wakefield just using their forwards. But come off second best so far, I think, up the middle tonight against this tough Leeds pack. Gallagher just prefers to trap it with his foot. Goes running across field. He's managed to knock one or two off. Brings play out to this side where Fawcett is going in acting half-back. Gibson's gone a first man. He's going to run back across the field the other way, so he's shoving men off, but 30-40 yards, both players have gone across the field, haven't gained a yard. So Leeds slipping the ball nicely in the tackle, they're keeping the footballing going so far. Gregory goes in acting half-back. Here comes Mercer. That's a good Wakefield defence. Leeds still in their own half. It's going to be a kick downfield, is it this time? Gregory. Boot to ball. David Jones touches that, so that's going to be all on. Good Leeds chase. There's 6 or 7 men down there already. Jones manages to get out to the 20-metre line when Nigel Bell goes in acting half-back. See the Leeds defence there squashed up, and Wakefield quickly move the ball. Nigel Wright still running, gives it to Benson, inside to Andy Wilson, and now the defence is split. Comes Gary Spencer, tries to split it back to Bagnall, but it's a bit of a back pass, but they split the Leeds defence there for 1 minute. But just a poor pass from Gary Spencer to Jeff Bagnall. Gary Price signaling that he said that Gary Mercer was going down as he came across with an arm, but Mr. Morris doesn't see anything in that.
Nothing at all, and it looks just a perfectly fair, ordinary tackle to me. And this head and shoulders rule has really got to be sorted out in this close season, I think.
It amazes you sometimes, doesn't it, what gets pulled and what doesn't get pulled.
Yes, it does, and there's tackles that people are saying around the shoulder which are blatantly around the neck, and then others that are obviously around the shoulder are penalised. Certainly didn't look anything wrong with that at all.
As Fawcett makes a good break from that tap down this right-hand side. So Leeds inside Wakefield 20 now, want to extend their lead. I think the crowd called that there, Stuart. Everybody appealed down here. They almost have heard it. Mr. Morris made his mind up there.
Yes, I think Mr. Morris were going to let that go then until the crowd shouted, but it was definitely a blatant case of crossing. Andy Gregory running behind Gary Mercer. Just a little mix-up there, I think, with Andy Gregory not featuring much in the Leeds side this season.
He has been out for a fair few weeks now. How long is it? About 6?
He's only 6 weeks. He's only played the first match against St Helens, and then he was off after about half an hour of the Halifax game, the second game. And Leeds have struggled badly without him, I think, really. He certainly makes play tick.
Yeah, I think any side would struggle without him. Such a great motivator and great player for other players. So it's Wakefield then. Here comes Big Fritz looking for them gaps, and the 1 or 2 Leeds forwards there, Lowndes and Big Malloy look to be getting out of the way. Bagnall hits the blind looking for that gap, but he's falling as Malloy makes the tackle on him. Nigel Wright wider to Gary Spencer. Gary Spencer tries a little dummy. That's Sean Wayne making the tackle there on Nigel Wright. So Bagnall again, trying to inspire his team, bobbing and weaving, but not setting anything up. We're on the 5th and last. Bell gives it to Wright. It's going to be a low kick towards that corner. Could be a good kick, could go and touch in goal, does it? Yes, it does. So that's going to be a tap 20. Leeds quickly with the ball, trying to get a good run at the Wakefield defence before it gets set up. That was Andy Goodway there trying to make the break. James Lowell. That's Goodway to Gregory. Gregory still coming forward. But tackled by Richard Slater on him. Inside ball to Sean Wayne from Malloy. Slows little bit of a move here. Gredney to Mercer. Moves it out to Gibson. That could be a knock-on, could it? So the early promise of Leeds, Stuart, it's failed to materialise. They've made a lot more mistakes in this last 10 or 15 minutes.
Yes, Dale, I think the sending off from Melvin Edwards has affected Leeds. I don't think there's one or two players not sure what to do now. And of course they're going to struggle in defence. That extra man makes a hell of a difference.
So Leeds down to 12. Here comes Nigel Wright. Nigel Wright trying to cut through. But the Leeds defence there with Gallagher and Gibson. Nigel Bell, but he looks to lose the ball as Nigel Bell, and mistakes creeping in on both sides. Wakefield can't get enough pressure on the Leeds try line through making mistakes, and Leeds are making mistakes in midfield, Stuart.
Yes, they are, and I think the ball a bit greasy tonight, Ian. Looked to be a bit of frost forming on the grass, and I think that's affected one or two people's hands this evening.
Another one again, Ed. So we're really seeing them tonight as Richard Goddard brings a lovely ball out to Gary Spencer. Gary Spencer then hands it on to Benson. Peter Benson inside to Nigel Wright. Nigel Wright then. And he gives a forward pass. You're reading on that, Stuart?
Well, I would say that he's very lucky there, the man who received the ball, that he wasn't get a penalty for offside. He was miles in front when he received that ball in.
So it's going to be Leeds head and ball. Can they win this scrum? What about the Andy Gregory? He can't be feeding it right tonight, Stuart.
Oh, usually this day and age you can feed your own feet to hell or high water. It doesn't seem to worry the referees. But I think Gregory suffering with James Laws. They've never really played together before, and I'm not sure that that's the combination is what's causing Leeds to lose this comes against their head.
So here comes Big Jim Fallon. So it's Gregory then. Little short ball to Mercer, over the top. That's over the top again. Andy Wilson going for the interception on Gibson, and didn't manage to get it. So it's Lowe's again in acting half-back. Gregory again at first man. This duo again. Lovely short ball there to Sean Wayne. That looked a little bit high from Andy Wilson. I think he'll get pulled for that. He does. Definitely high there from Andy Wilson. Did really sidestep a little bit back inside him, but even then it was still high, Stuart.
It was, but it was one of those cases we've just been talking about there. There wasn't really a lot in it. He made contact with his head, but it wasn't a definite stiff arm, and I think a penalty about the right decision in these days of what they're doing with their high tackles. So Sean Wayne just wants a little drink of water, probably to revive him. He's a big lad. I think he can check that from Andy Wilson. So here come Leeds again. So it's James Lowes. Here comes Sean Wayne. That's some good inroads into the Wakefield defence tonight. Switching it blind. Craig Innes. Looks like a Leeds knock on there. Been some lost ball, as you say, Stuart. Could be a bit of frost in the air and dampness on the grass. And the crowd a little bit quiet here at Bellevue. Ball's gone there, so what's the decision? Says John Glancy lost it. It rolled a long way away to say he was laying on his back. Yes, could have been assisted there, but neither of the touch judges gave anything. The touch on this side had a good view of it, and he didn't signal anything. But to be fair, Colin Morris didn't look at him either.
Is that another against the head? He's done Richard Slater for picking out, I believe, Stuart, has he?
He's handing the ball out of the scrum, I think, there. One of Gary Price, I think it was, who he gave that against. Scrum collapsing, and I think Gary Price just using his arm to get it out.
So Dixon takes the ball in, centre field, 18 metres from the Trinity line. Gregory, little short ball to Malloy. Stood up in the tackle. Allows Gus to act in half-back, still working that left-hand side. Gregory, long ball out to... Is it try or... Yes, he's given a try. Well, there didn't seem to be much going on there from that ball, and it just went out to the left, and Leeds managed to scrape over, Stuart.
Yes, Gary Mercer, tremendous forward in those tight situations. Real runs onto the ball strong, used his strength to take him over there, and the man outside him, he didn't need to use him. And I didn't think that the referee was going to give the try in the first place, but the Leeds players seemed in no doubt. So that's just the start that Leeds wanted to go in at half-time with the extra points in.
So it's going to be Nigel then, right, to restart again. Crowd already moving round to their respective ends for the second half. They think it's half-time already. As Gregory brings the ball away. Big Jim Fallon there coming in for a bit of work, helping his forwards out. Good tackle there from Richard Slater. And his opposite number, Goodway. So it's Gregory. Gives it to Gallagher. Fallon then with the ball again. We're on the fifth and last. Adapted well then, Jim Fallon, has he, to rugby league from rugby union?
Yeah, there's still a lot to learn, I think, defensively, but he's certainly done well on attack, and he's very strong. And Dougie Lawton told me when he was going to sign Jim Fallon that he wanted a winger who would score tries in the corner, and Jim Fallon has done that, brush men off in various standards of the competition. Scored some good tries against Sunset and a good one against Kingston Rovers. And looks a useful acquisition.
So here come Wakefield then, getting this wide ball out again. Benson giving Andy Wilson a run, trying to stop his man, gives it back, run round, then back to Bagnall, but trying to split this. Oh, that looks like an interception, and that's a try to Leeds right on half-time. That's a bad ball. Well, Wakefield on attack, bad pass from Bagnall, and that's intercepted, and Leeds getting the 6 points just before half-time, Stuart.
Yeah, what a time to give away a try like that. That was a bad pass from Bagnall, and that was not looking there, and I think a few passes there, really too many. Andy Wilson probably would have been better to take the tackle when he'd gone inside here. I'm sure David Topless will be having nightmares on the bench. Leeds taking command of this game with a man short.
So that's a try to Goodway under the sticks. As we were saying, right on half-time, we were thinking it was 10-4, and then at 16-4, it's looking really good, and with 12 men, Stuart. There goes the half-time. Fully deserved Leeds. I think they've been on top for most part of this half. Made a few mistakes, set off well, made a few mistakes in the middle period, but the latter part of this first half, they've really gone well and scored 2 tries in the last couple of minutes, and with 12 men, that's excellent, Stuart.
Yes, but I just have this little feeling here, and I was here last year and it was 16-4 at half-time to Leeds, and they ran out losers by 22 points to 20. So it's a long time. They've got 40 minutes yet, and I'm sure Wakefield will put something together, but Leeds must be delighted with the man short, and that try from Andy Goodway, an absolute bonus.
Yeah, I think we've defended as well in midfield and everything. I think it's going to be hard to score tries against this defence.
Yeah, there's been a lot of criticism of the sliding defence. I know one or two of the players weren't too keen on it, the new players that came, and Dougie had a meeting and sorted that out, and the players now know what they're doing and what they're supposed to be doing, and tonight it's worked to a T.
Yeah, so we'll see you back for the second half. Hope it's exciting, and see you then. We begin this second half. Welcome back. Wakefield going to start with Billy Conway on the field for Mark Webster, as Nigel Wright kicks down towards the dressing room end of the field. Here comes Mercer. So respective coaches will been saying a lot to their players at half-time. Dougie Lawton very pleased with a 16-4 lead. Dave Topless will have really got into his lads and tell them to show a little bit of form that they showed against Sheffield on Sunday. As Leeds in possession, bringing the ball away. Sean Wayne there, just a little fumble, but held on. Moving it to Gregory, looking for a nice place to kick the ball. That looks a good one. It's gone over Andy Wilson's head and goes into touch. He's got 30 or 40 yards, so Leeds using their set of 6 tackles well there, Stuart.
Yes, he did. Some good drives by the forward to take it away from the danger zone, and a lovely kick from Andy Gregory there, just bounced right for him and over Andy Wilson's head. Well, that's a good start for Leeds, and hope they can pen Wakefield down in the quarter, which is what they'll intend to do.
So Wakefield then wanting to get back down this field, wanting to put pressure on this Leeds line. So far in the first 40 minutes they didn't get many glimpses of it, and all they had to show were a couple of penalties from Benson. As John Glancy tackled by Malloy and Wayne. I think both their props have had an outstanding 40 minutes so far. Bagnall to Big Fritz, trying to break that tackle, slips the ball out to Bagnall again. Goes further over, Richard Slater looked a little bit high. It's hard to judge, Stuart, at sometimes. I mean, it looked a little bit high, but it wasn't anything that you'd call vicious in that.
No, I think we've only got to go back a few years at the end, and the players that were getting high tackled were staying on the floor, and some of them having to be assisted from the field. Nowadays they bounce straight back up, so that's just an example of how it isn't really a high tackle in the old-fashioned sense of the word.
So it's Wakefield then with the penalty. Going to get into this Leeds 20 if they can through Big Fritz. He's well taken there. Leeds defence holding out, hasn't been broken. Nigel Wright trying to dance and weave his way through, but Leeds defence has been very tight, worked well on it. Gary Price trying to work it up the middle, gives it to Big John Glancy, but still holding strong. Centre field and most of the Wakefield players over this side. Nigel Wright looking for openings, still going Nigel Wright, finds a gap, still going Nigel Wright. That's the first glimpse we've seen of Nigel Wright breaking the defence tonight. Can Wakefield do anything about it? Bagnall just ducking a tackle, brings it back right to lobs it over, but Richard Goddard, the pass just behind him, and then a little knock on there, knock on to both sides, Mr. Morris says, but Nigel Wright just breaking the defence for the first time this evening, Stuart.
Yes, that's the first time we've seen Nigel Wright run with the ball, and he looks so much more dangerous when he does it in his hands. The gap opened up lovely for him there, and just a cover coming back got him there, so good start for Wakefield. That's just what they'll be looking for.
So Leeds win that scrum. That could be an event in itself. Lost 2 again the head. So they'll be trying to clear this danger area, get out of that 20. No fancy passing, they'll be just good hard drives. Probably the backs will come into it. Gibson is just helping his forwards out. Leeds down to 12 men, but commanding lead of 6 points to 4. Gregory, lovely little short ball there to Dixon, but he's well tackled there by Richard Slater. That's Sean Wayne there. Just gets out of the 20. It looks like it's going to be to Gallagher, then to kick downfield. Richard Goddard just putting a bit of pressure on him. Spencer picks the ball up and makes a good run out. Gets a lovely ball out then to Benson, inside to Andy Wilson. Nice bit of play from Wakefield. Fetched that ball back well there. And it's Andy Wilson. The cries of Wakefield going up as Gary Spencer keen to do well against his old teammates. Takes that in again. Here comes Fritz. It's the blind side, trying to slip that ball away, but didn't manage it. Kept held. So it's Bagnall. Run round with Billy Conway, but there's no way through there. Defensive Leeds working well. Here comes Nigel Wright. What's he going to do this time? Tries to put a little ball in for Gary Price. That goes inside to Richard Goddard. Just couldn't get free there from Andy Goodway's tackle, who's in the centre. That's a high kick from Nigel Wright. It's all on. Darren Fritz trying to pick that ball up, but young Fawcett makes a lovely take over on the far side with the Trinity attackers bearing down on him. And Leeds coming away with the ball. in their 20. Comes Mercer. Good way. Inside to Fallon. Fallon with a good running opportunity here. What's he going to do? Thinking about passing inside. Still manages to get it clear to James Lowes, who backed him up and held in the tackle, but good play there from Leeds, Stuart.
Yes, lovely ball from Andy Goodway, and Jim Fallon there, just not quite sure what to do. I think he had Dixon in support, probably did the right thing and take the tackle. It was difficult there for Dixon. He looked to be well policed.
That's Craig Innes then, just a little bobbing and weaving running centre field, but they're well inside Trinity's half now, and here's Gregory. Little short ball there to Gary Mercer, who comes on beautiful to those balls. Rated him very highly when he's at Warrington, and he still looks to be in top class form with Leeds, Stuart.
Yes, he was unlucky there. The first real serious injury of his career came within 25 minutes of his debut against St Helens, and he's been out with a jaw, and this is just his second game back, but he showed again at Wigan last week, even in a defeated side, that he looked to be a great acquisition for Leeds.
Well, I rated him as the best second rower in our game over here when I've seen him all last season. I thought he went excellent with Warrington.
Well, he actually won the award last season by his fellow professionals. He was the first choice for the second row, and that included Dennis Betts and the other top class second rowers in the game, so that's just Doug Lawton did a good job there to prize him away from Warrington.
So Wakefield with two good drives, going a good 30 and 40 yards away, and looks like Nigel Bell, after all that good work, then losing the ball. So Wakefield making far too many mistakes, but not getting enough pressure on Leeds at all, are they, Stuart?
No, they're not. They're dropping the ball at every opportunity there. That was some good running there. I think Jeff Bagnall's noticed, and probably over as well, and Andy Gregory struggling with a limp, and came away from the scrum there, and that could be a good play of Bagnall. He's got plenty of pace over the first 20 metres or so, left Andy Gregory for dead, and that set up that position, but just spoilt there.
Do you think Gregory will last the 80 minutes, or do you think he might sub him?
I think he might sub him if Leeds can get another try.
So it's Leeds then in possession near to halfway. Lowe's in at acting halfback, gets Mercer going again. He comes really strong, really hard. Lowe's in again at acting halfback. Lost the ball in the tackle there, does Malloy. So it's Wakefield possession, just inside their own half. So wanting something big. John Glancy trying to break the defence, but as we say, they haven't had many opportunities at that Leeds try line. Here comes Bagnall, sees a little gap up that blind side, tries to get bit Fritz in, but he loses possession there, does Fritz, and that's again Wakefield losing possession, not getting enough pressure on the Leeds defence at all. As Gibson comes running across the field, gets tackled right on the centre of the 20-metre line. Sean Wayne there, making good yardage. His yardage count must be good tonight. Him and Malloy's have done some sterling work, as Paul Dixon, he has a tilt. Somebody looks to have got a bit of a knock, but Malloy and Wayne done a good jobs tonight, Stuart.
Yes, they have. I've been very impressed with them. They've got over the advantage line at every opportunity, and a couple of good strong breaks from both of them, and I think Doug will be pleased with them. I know that Leeds' so-called weakness is in the forwards, and I think that would like a couple of big props, but those doing a good job there this evening.
Yeah, they've all been saying that, but on tonight's performance, you wouldn't think that, Stuart, would you? You know what I mean? The pack has looked very strong, it's looked very solid, and it's been good in defence, and they've run the ball out and made good yardage.
Yes, they've soaked everything up that Wakefield can throw at them down the middle of the field, and they've, although Dixon's just got a knock now, I think, in that tackle there, which is looks like Gary Price. In fact, it isn't Gary Price, it's, I can't quite see who that is, but
it's Richard Slater.
Richard Slater there. Oh, lovely ball inside there from John Gallagher, and Leeds coming away. That's good play again. But as you say, the forwards have worked well this evening. I think Doug Lawton must be delighted with them.
It's given them a good grounding to get their backs into play. When your pack's on top, it makes it a little bit easier for you to backs. And, that's Andy Wilson making a bit of a mess of that, and makes a right mess of that. What ended up, what you think, a kick under pressure from Andy Gregory actually proved very good in the end, and Wakefield have made far too many mistakes this evening to put any pressure on Leeds at all.
Yes, they have. Interesting there, Paul Dixon just going off there, took a bang in that tackle, and he's going to be replaced. He'll probably be replaced by Mike O'Neill. Yes, good kick there from Andy Gregory, and Andy Wilson made a right pig's ear of that one and knocked it on 3 times. I knocked it back 3 times, eventually it went in, and it's given Leeds the impetus at the scrum now. Leeds could have the advantage here.
So the scrum well inside the Wakefield 20. Will they work something from this scrum? Craig Innes there. Here comes O'Neill with his first touch of the ball. In sub for Paul Dixon. He's gone off, we were limping just slightly. So Leeds moving it to the right. To get Fawcett, look to be clear on that far side, but so it's Leeds with 12 men doing all the work. You wouldn't think they were down to 12 men where they're playing tonight. Moved out to O'Neill. Neil inside to Gallagher. Gallagher then goes back the other way looking for an opening. Can't find one, still going is Gallagher. But there's 3 Wakefield defenders there. Look to took their option there. Might have been better coming this side, Stuart.
Yes, could have been, and Leeds have actually lost ground there, but they come now again with Craig Innes. And Innes just can't get the ball away. Andy Gregory in support. Certainly Andy Gregory, even on one leg, is directing operations in.
Yeah, superb tactician is Andy Gregory. Here he wants the ball again. He's going to put a little kick through. Test Gary Spencer under pressure. Takes that comfortably in the in-goal area. Fires it out quick so Wakefield can have the quick tap before the Leeds get set up. They're all offside there, but David Jones nearly breaks through, and Billy Conway leading the charge. Gives it to Gary Price. Gary Price looking nice, slips a nice ball to Richard Goddard. Richard Goddard trying to get round Jim Fallon. So it's Nigel Bell, long ball to Bagnall to right, and to Big Fritz. Got to check players on in midfield, I feel, to make sure this sliding defence doesn't actually get right across to the far side. So it's just inside the Leeds half. That goes over Nigel Wright's head. He was actually trying to get something going actually before it took the ball there. So Billy Conway, will he have a little darting run from acting half-back? Tries a rolling ball out to Andy Wilson. Trying to make amends for that lapse he made just a few moments ago when he juggled the ball into touch. Nigel Wright with a long low kick down to where Gallagher is. It lets it roll past him, then bends down and picks up, brings it out this way, gets into centre field where he's tackled by the double tackle of Nigel Bell and Jeff Bagnall, and here comes Leeds again moving it wide. Andy Goodway gives it to Jim Fallon, who mocks David Jones up. Then Andy Goodway gets the return and slips then, trying to get round Gary Spencer, but here comes the charge with Malloy, and Malloy beautifully tackled there by Gary Spencer, but Leeds with the impetus of coming forward now, moving the ball wide. Gallagher, ball inside, it's bobbing about. But here comes Mercer, gives it to Fawcett. So good Leeds play, keeping the ball alive, going forward at all times. Goodway, nice ball there to O'Neill, puts him beautifully in the gap. O'Neill still going, gets inside of Goodway, he's going round, but just caught somebody's ankle taps there, but it's all Leeds putting pressure on this Trinity line. We're on the 5th and last, and it's a little kick through, but a good pick-up from Richard Goddard, but a good set of 6. So Wakefield desperate to get some scores on the board. Trying to break Leeds in midfield. Here comes Nigel Bell, he's just done that. Who's he got in support? Turned there, lovely by Gallagher in the tackle, so he couldn't give his support any chance. Bagnall then trying to get his men going over the left. John Glancy gets right up to the Leeds 20, and then making the mistake again of losing possession. It was the 5th and last, so that's going to be a handover, and it's end-to-end stuff at the moment.
It's interesting football for the spectators. Bagnall just caught a knock there. I think John Glancy couldn't really do anything else there. His options were covered, and he just had to try and release the ball, then a tackle up, but it went behind him, and Wakefield could pick it up and keep the roll on.
So it looks like Leeds have just lost possession there at that play of the ball. Looked to be Sean Wayne. Just a little fumble there, so it's going to be a scrum down to Wakefield. Head and ball just short of the Leeds 20-metre line. Can they work something from this scrum? Have got to move on. Run round with Nigel Wright. He's looking for the opening. Gives it out to young Richard Goddard. Gives early ball to David Jones. He tries to come inside Jim Fallon. So it's Wakefield then trying to set something up. Nigel Wright, a little bit of a dummy, but not enough runners coming with him there. Can they get a try? Can they get back towards this Leeds score as Gary Spencer takes it in within 10 metres of the Leeds line? Comes Big Fritz. Big Fritz nearly breaks through the Leeds defence. So it's Bagnall, brings it across to this right. Bagnall to Gary Price, but good handling from Wakefield there, and it looked like to be Nigel Wright going over. That was good handling. The ball looked dead with Gary Price as the tackle came in, but somehow managed to slip the ball away, Stuart, and Nigel Wright goes over to make the score a little bit nearer.
Yes, the sliding defence not getting over there, sucked in the middle of the field with the drives, and I think the man short there caused that try in, and lovely run play from Nigel Wright, and really good ball from Gary Price to Bagnall.
I've been impressed with the defence and then the forwards. I wonder if they'll just tire with this just one man advantage that Wakefield's got.
Yeah, that is always a possible. They're doing a lot of tackling. Wakefield have had a lot of possession. Well, that's a tremendous kick there from Benson. Well, that puts a different ball game on it now, 16 points to 10. Wakefield have still got to score twice, but with the extra man, that's not beyond them.
Yes, Stuart, just down to one try and a goal now. So it's Leeds 16, Wakefield 10. Plenty of time left in this game. Good, probably 25 minutes left yet in this game as learning the tricks of the trade, Stuart. A bit of time wasted.
Yes, John Gallagher there, it hasn't taken him long to learn that, and just complaining I think that there wasn't any sand there, and then finding a pile from somewhere to get the game restarted. Well, that's a bad mistake again there from Gary Price. I think that'll be a drop out under the post, knocking on behind his own line. And again, just the typical what's been going on in this game, a lot of nonsensical errors.
Yes, when you get back to 16-10, that's the least thing you want to happen when they kick off to you. You're probably a bit mentally relaxed after scoring the try and a goal, and you know, you've got to keep up tight, haven't you?
Oh yes, you have, and that's put the impetus back to Leeds now. They've got 6 more tackles and they're going to be in the Wakefield half of the field with Andy Goodway in possession.
So it's Goodway then collecting that kick from Nigel Wright, that drop out. As Lowe's goes in at acting half-back. Mercer there, ever wanting the ball. He always seems to be one of the men that's always wanting that drive and taking it up there. Mike O'Neill then at acting half-back to Gregory. Still bringing it over to this way. Gregory got the pack there. Wayne Gallagher's linked up with his in attack, and that's good play from Leeds, testing the Wakefield defence now. We're on the 5th and last, but only 10 metres from the Wakefield line. Little chip through from Andy Gregory, but just ricocheted back off him again, and that's going to be a tap on the 20 to Wakefield. Nigel Bell. Andy Wilson coming in, but it looks to have lost the ball. That's a wasted tackle there, and Leeds with possession. Too many mistakes from Wakefield. Getting close to the lead score of 16-10, but trying to get pressure on him. Here comes Sean Wayne. Outstanding game so far tonight. He's done some good yardage. He's laid the ball off well. I've been very impressed with Sean Wayne tonight. Comes Malloy, he slips it back to O'Neill. O'Neill still prepared to take it off, still keeping the ball alive in the tackle, still keeping it alive. Gregory, long ball to Goodway. He's got Gallagher with him. Gallagher wants it back inside, still keeping it alive. Mercer to Craig Innes. Innes back to Gibson. But keeping the ball alive, not actually making much yardage though, Stuart.
Not making much yardage. Good scramble defence there from Wakefield, and there seemed to be a man there at every option for Leeds. That's good defence from Wakefield.
Inside to Sean Wayne. He manages to slip the ball away again to Sean Wayne. I've been really impressed with Sean Wayne, Stuart, tonight.
Yes, he's had a tremendous game, Sean Wayne. That's good yardage, and as you say, laying that ball off well, and this man, Andy Gregory, just putting the ball down there, just trying to pass the ball before he had control of it. But Sean Wayne, as you say, tremendous play for Leeds this evening.
He's made good yardage, and even when he's made good yardage, he's always looked to slip the ball to the oncoming thing. Hasn't he been getting in regular, Stuart, or what?
He's been missing a lot of substitute. He's not been the first choice. But when he's come in the side, he's always made good yards. He made good yards against Hull Kingston Rovers and Warrington when he got on the field.
Well, it must have impressed Dougie tonight, and at least give him an option that he has at number 8.
That's right. It's nice to have options on the props, because Leeds are a bit short of forwards at the moment. Mick Waddle out injured, and Paul Anderson, who was going to be substitute this evening, broke his finger in 3 places in training, and he's a big raw-bone lad, similar to your lad Webster.
Yeah, I've seen him, been quite impressed with him, and Wakefield making a substitute. Mark Webster coming back on for John Glancy, and it was Darren Fritz who lost possession there. So Leeds playing this game right in the area they want, and Craig Innes making a bit of a mess of that. How do you think Craig Innes is going to stand up half tonight, Stuart?
Well, I think he's still learning the game. I think he was the only option open to Doug Lawton to play Craig Innes this evening, but I don't think he's a standoff for him. But he's got a good pair of hands, and he's got blistering pace.
Yes, just a little bit of a misunderstanding there, probably from his inexperience at stand-up half, as you said. And that looked a little bit forward there from Nigel Wright. And these are schoolboy mistakes that Wakefield are making. I mean, Darren Fritz lost it on the second tackle there, where Wakefield has just got possession and lost it on the first. You can't go on making mistakes like that and hope to be victorious.
You can't, because it's putting pressure on. Eventually the line's going to crack and Leeds are going to score. And as you say, the time's just ticking away, and Wakefield continuing to put pressure on themselves, bringing themselves onto their own line.
So it's Andy Goodway. Quick play of the ball, takes it to the right to the ever there Mercer, and Fawcett. He's a big strong lad, he likes plenty of running. Comes in field, so Leeds then. Gregory, probably only 3/4 fit. Here comes Malloy, looking for support. Malloy there, none to be found. Gregory again, lovely ball to Goodway, slips a nice ball to Fallon, but he's bundled into touch. So just a little bit of experience there of Jim Fallon. Just got to learn to keep out of touch, and Andy Gregory is just having a word with him there, just probably telling him where he's got to go.
Yes, that's always good to see the old pro giving the youngster, or not youngster in Jim Fallon's case, but the newcomer, telling him what to do and talking to him all the time. That'll give him confidence. The worst thing you can do is to actually play out with him.
Yeah, because he is walking about his Andy Gregory, but I suppose a 3/4 fit Andy Gregory tonight is just what Leeds want.
Yes, desperate for Andy Gregory to play this season, particularly with Gary Schofield not being on the side. And he's done a good job for Leeds, even though, as you say, you can see he's limping and he's only 3/4 fit.
He didn't play in the Alliance then at the weekend?
No, he didn't play in the Alliance side at Batley. Just kept himself for this evening. Could have actually played at Wigan, I think, last week. He was fit, but Dougie had selected the side before really Andy Gregory got the go-ahead from the specialist to play.
So it's Wakefield then, spinning the ball out this side. Long ball out to Goddard. Richard Goddard, what's he going to do? He goes inside, and he's broke through as Richard Goddard. Is he going to take him on here? He's still going. Lovely ball out then to Gary Spencer, who gives it to Andy Wilson. Andy Wilson going for that line. Can Fawcett get him? He does. Beautiful recovery, scramble defence there from Leeds. Beautiful break from Richard Goddard, the 18-year-old there, Stuart.
Yes, turned the defence inside out, good break, and good run from Andy Wilson, and a great tackle from Vince Fawcett. I thought Andy Wilson was a scorer all the way there, and just unfortunate for Wakefield, it was so late in the tackle count.
Just didn't get enough pressure on them, but hopefully if they can keep Leeds down in this quarter and probably on the kick, they probably only get to halfway, they could come back and put a bit of pressure on the Leeds defence.
Yes, it could. It's been a good tackling there from Wakefield again. That's Leeds have had 3 drives on the 10-metre line. That's just what Wakefield need at this time of the game in the second half.
So that's 4th. It's going to be a kick from Gregory, and that's a nice kick, is that? That's giving his chasers plenty of chance there. As Andy Wilson picks up, well inside his own half. just held there 10 metres, 8 metres from the halfway line, but at least they've made good yardage and got clear of the Trinity line. Nobody on that side where Jeff Bagnall was going. He were looking for support, and Wakefield tended to be in a little bit of a bunch there. Inside ball to Mark Webster from Nigel Wright. So here come Wakefield again. Can they make this extra man count? Jeff Bagnall, darting run, sees a gap. Still going Jeff Bagnall. Inside of Goddard, Richard Goddard, as he broke it. Just gets through the tackle, but the Leeds defence scrambling and scrambling, getting back. Here comes David Jones, he's trying to get clear. Billy Conway, Jeff Bagnall, crowd getting right behind him. Bagnall still trying to keep going. Here comes Nigel Bell. Nigel Bell gets within 2 metres of the line. It's exciting stuff now. Can Leeds hold out? 12 men. What's Bagnall doing? He flicks it back up, but that goes to Mike O'Neill of Leeds, and that eases the pressure, but it's getting exciting, Stuart.
It certainly is, with just the 6 points in it. That was good play again from Wakefield there. I thought a couple of times they were going to be over. And Leeds could do with a few good charges up the middle of the field and to relieve that pressure, because Wakefield really turning it on now, Ian.
And they've got to do, haven't they, Stuart? 16-10 down. They've got to be a little bit adventurous in their play.
Yes, they've got to play what we call catch-up football and throw caution to the wind.
Gallagher just making a little bit of a juggle there. Gets it out a good way, or gets Fallon, and making yardage all the time. Leeds, and here comes Goodway. Gives it inside to Innes. Back to Gallagher. Tried to be put under pressure by David Jones, but it's a good kick. It's making Gary Spencer go all the way, but that ball's going to go in a dead. Just a little bit too much Yorkshire pudding in that. A little bit more beef. Wakefield have got to get behind that 20 before Jeff Bagnall can tap it, so it gives Leeds a chance to get set up, but they're in the right half of the field, the Leeds, Stuart.
Yes, they are indeed. That was a good kick there from Gallagher. Although it went dead, it certainly gave Leeds, as you say, a chance to get the line together, and Wakefield need to be down that end. And the Leeds defence has so far held out this half, but I think Leeds are tied in now without that man short.
So it's about 10-15 minutes left. Gary Price comes across just underneath his cameras here. Slater to Bagnall, wider to Wright. A long, even wider ball to Benson, who's got a bit of an overlap. Probably a little bit early there for Andy Wilson, and not taking his man on. There's gaps there on the outside. They've got to make it and run these tired Leeds defenders about a little bit as we come up to the fifth and last. Wakefield still in their own half as Bagnall caught one there with his elbow off Gibson, and that was a very, very silly thing to do there, Stuart.
Yes, well, I didn't see that, Ian. I was watching the ball, but both touch judges are on, so something really bad has gone on there, and Leeds will be lucky if the man stays on the field, I think.
Well, I was just watching it as he kicked, and my eyes were focused on him, and just as he kicked, Gibson just caught him with his elbow.
Well, as I was watching what was happening with John Gallagher, where he was going to field the ball, so both touch judges are on, so they're going to report to Mr Morris, and the least they can expect for Leeds' point of view is a penalty.
So a silly thing to do, because where you are in that area of the field, you've no pressure on, and with this penalty kick, it probably play could be right down the other end.
That's right, and it's an unprofessional thing to do, as you say, and that'll be Dougie Lawton will be not very happy about that. He's very disappointed when Leeds give penalties away. In fact, Leeds went through one game last season without conceding a penalty, and he was absolutely delighted. Well, Colin Morris is going to take play up here to give the penalty.
Yeah, it's where the ball lands, doesn't it, from that resultant thing. Is it? I haven't seen him pull Gibson out to have a word, has he?
No, he's not said anything so far to Carl Gibson. It was a shoulder, as he says, did it? So Leeds now under pressure again on their own 20 when they should have been running the ball back upfield.
Well, it looked more like an elbow to me, but I think Gibson's a little bit lucky there. Probably with only having 12 men, he didn't want to make it 11, Stuart.
Yes, he's been a bit lenient, I think, there, as Colin Morris. So Wakefield now piling on the pressure, and this could just be the chance they need to draw level.
So Wakefield then trying to get Fritz in here. Is he going to be over? Can he get free? It's there, it's Big Fritz. That's his first try for Wakefield Trinity since it's come, I think. And what a time to score it. And his power with tacklers just hanging on him, and Fritz goes over, and now can Benson with his kick level the scores, and then we'd be very interesting last 10 minutes, wouldn't it, Stuart?
It would indeed. I think Wakefield got the impetus now, and they're going to do what they did last year, I feel. And that's come back from an absolute beaten score and probably win the game now. They've got the impetus on, and that penalty there has cost Leeds dear.
Yes, I think Doug will probably have a few words with Carl Gibson when he gets him in the dressing room, if it is a deciding factor in the game.
Yes, it could be, as I say, 16 points all when Benson kicks this goal, and I'm sure he will. And Leeds have a lot to do then, because they've had plenty of possession and they've not scored a try at all in this second half.
It was on the fifth and last. It was in Wakefield's half of the field, and Leeds would get possession from that kick. So it was absolutely stupid thing to do. And I mean, the kick there from Benson successful. So that levels the scores at 16 all.
Leeds have scored 3 tries to 2, and the goal kick in there of Benson been the deciding factor so far, Ian.
Yes, it's always looks a bit rough on your scoreboard when you've looked and you've scored more tries than the opposition, and you're only level or you're behind. It's the goal kicking at times that plays a vital part, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, and that's having a reliable goal kicker. But to be fair to John Gallagher, his kicks have all been from the touchline side, really.
So Wakefield then, has it given them their confidence? Can they see the Leeds defence tiring a little bit? Being breached this second half twice now. Didn't have a sniff of the try line in the first half. Their defence, the Leeds defence, held out superbly, but Wakefield desperate to get down the other end of the field. It's given back to Nigel Wright. He's going to try and do that, and Jim Fallon just lets that ball roll into touch, goes in Leeds half, 10 metres over the halfway line. So I think a draw might be happy with that. Dave Topless, just to say at least he's got a point on the table.
Yes, I think a point would be just what Dave Topless would be happy about. But Leeds winning the scrum there, and Craig Innes coming away with the ball.
As you say, Stuart, strong lad, strong running lad. Looks to have a little bit of cramp there. He's holding in the back of his calf, just below us. As Leeds come up this touchline side. James Lowes. I've been impressed with this lad as well. He looks a good signing for you from Hunslet.
Yes, he's a good pair of hands. He's very strong, and he's always likely to do your 40 tackles in a game, Ian.
He played scrum half with Hunslet. I'm looking at here now. It looks a big lad for a scrum half.
He certainly does. He's played a bit of scrum half loose forward. I know that Paul Daly not really wanting to lose him, but when the big club comes in, what can they do? The lads have got to go where the money is.
You're so right, Stuart. Yeah. So Leeds then, trying to get back. Here comes Mercer. He's taking it to the Wakefield players. Craig Innes down below us is just getting a little bit of treatment for cramp. We're on the fifth and last. Is it going to be a kick, or are they going to run it? That's a chip and run from Gallagher. Gary Spencer though, quickly across just to cut that danger out. But it's end-to-end stuff, and it's exciting. After all the mistakes and the early part of the game, we've got down to the last 5 or 10 minutes, haven't we, Stuart? And it's really exciting, end-to-end stuff.
Yes, it's been a great game for the spectators to watch. And as you say, the mistakes have been cut out recently, and it's out both sides. I think Wakefield have come back and they've stopped making the mistakes, and you've seen what they've got, 2 tries.
So then Wakefield deep in their own 20. Billy Conway, one of them runs from acting half-back. He's got Jeff Bagnall with him. Can Bagnall go all the way? He hands on to Gary Price. Can Gary Price go? He can't, as the Leeds cover gets up though and passes on to Nigel Wright. Nigel Wright. Mr. Morris says he shouted held. Well, he's going to give a scrum for that, but if he shouted held, that should be a penalty, Stuart, in my book.
He should indeed. I think Mr. Morris giving Wakefield the benefit of the fact that he probably didn't hear him because of the noise from the crowd. It certainly looked a harsh decision. That I thought that Gary Price had not been stopped.
Well, I did as well, Stuart, but there we go. Mr. Morris, who has had some flack over recent weeks in different matches, but I think he's been pretty sound tonight, don't you?
Yes, he's had a good game this evening, Colin Morris. I know when I was talking to Gary Mercer at the Leeds and Ulkinson Rovers match, he said that Mr. Morris was his favourite referee.
Probably buys him a drink afterwards, that's why, Stuart.
Yes, it surprised me, I must admit, because Colin Morris, not one of my favourite officials.
What, he hasn't bought you a drink? Well, that's a good break from Leeds then, and Sean Wayne, outstanding game tonight, I think. Yes, I think if I were picking the team for Leeds in the next match, it'd be my first first name down on the team sheet, but it's exciting stuff. It's end to end as Leeds coming back at Wakefield after Wakefield's just had the pressure on Leeds. Here comes O'Neill. Drop goal on, Stuart.
Could be a drop goal on here. I don't know who Leeds have got in the side apart from Andy Gregory. Gregory now putting the crossfield kick there. He looked to be going for the drop goal.
Jim Fannell takes David Jones. He looked to be getting set up for the drop goal there, Stuart, and the Wakefield defence were just quickly on him, wasn't it?
Yes, the Wakefield defence on quickly there, and that was good play from Wakefield closing him down. And great tackling now from Leeds on that line.
Yeah, they're hoping to pin. Here comes Billy Conway again with none of them runs. He's done a few over the last minute, and what's happened there? It's a penalty. Well, I don't know what that penalty was for, honestly, Stuart.
It's an offside. The ball ricocheted off a Leeds player and back to a Wakefield man.
That kick from Wakefield's not gone into touch, so that's a let-off for Leeds. That's back play. Everything's getting rushed. It's the event of the evening, and players are making silly mistakes, and I think the atmosphere in the last 5 and 10 minutes, everything's happening.
It does indeed. Leeds are lucky to be penalised. They could have given scrum as accidental offside, because certainly Leeds player didn't play for the ball. Billy Conway just kicked it at the man. And then a rush penalty, and that's cost Wakefield, because they'd have been well on the attack in the Leeds 22. Instead they're now defending as Gary Mercer brings it up towards halfway line.
Billy Conway made a couple of darting runs in the last 5 or 10 minutes. That could be the key for opening the defence.
Yes, it could do indeed, because he's a great runner from acting half-back, is Billy Conway. And I think that's his strength, really, lies in his pace from acting half. A good run there from Craig Innes again, so it's really end-to-end, both teams giving everything now, but a lot of Leeds players down with cramp. We've seen Innes and we've got Gary Mercer down on that far side now.
As Andy Goodway up this touchline side, Jim Fallon goes in, acting half-back. We're on the 5th and last. Gregory there, he's going to be caught, he's trying to get rid, but Richard Goddard, only 18, but quickly on and quickly wanted the ball. He showed plenty of experience there, Stuart.
Yes, he did indeed. He wanted that ball and he wanted to get away quickly, because Wakefield's sniffing out the chance of a victory here now, Ian.
Bagnall then. Bagnall bobbing and waving, looking for the openings. Leeds could be tiring a little bit. Remember, they're only down to 12 men. That's Billy Conway. Has it a knock on? Yes. Gary Price not too happy with that, but look from where I was that it was a knock on, Stuart.
Did indeed. I think there was a suspicion that James Laws had interfered with Billy Conway before the ball had cleared the ruck area, and that's what they were appealing for, but the referee would have none of that. He was quite happy that it was just a knock on.
Oh, that's the interception to Andy Wilson. Can he go all the way? Andy Wilson still going, but scrambled defence, and it's panic stations from both sides at times, isn't it, Stuart?
It is indeed. That was almost a copy of what happened in the first half there. A long ball out from Innes on the first tackle as well. So that won't be going down too well in the Leeds dressing room after the game, and it's put Leeds back under pressure after they look to have soaked it all up.
He'll have to get another packet of cigs out. I think we'll do it on the bench after that, won't he, Stuart?
Yes, he will indeed.
As Wakefield come towards this line, are they going to go for the drop goal? Are they going to go for the try? Here comes Billy Conway, another run from acting half-back. Gary Price fails to hold, but ball goes back, so he just recovers and takes it back. We're on the 5th and last. Is it going to be a drop at goal? Nigel Wright looks to be set up for it. Here he goes. It's gone wide, though. It's gone wide. So it touched the Leeds man, so that's going to be a dropout. Andy Gregory there, out on his feet. You can see him stretching, and he's the last man going to be back, but he did marvellous well to get out at Nigel Wright there.
Yes, he did. Nigel Wright a long way back and seems to have all the time in the world, but Andy Gregory there just charging that down. So Leeds again now under pressure as Gallagher kicks out.
That's coming to Bagnall. He takes it. What's he going to do? Bagnall is showing the ball to Leeds. I didn't know what he was showing them for, whether he thought they were going to kick it or not. As Gary Spencer comes towards this Leeds line. Dan and Fritz wanted it. Nigel Wright. And Nigel Wright on the second towel gets set up and drops the goal. Well, what about that then, Stuart?
Well, that was what least expected there. I thought Wakefield had gone for the try. But Leeds certainly stood back there, Nigel Wright, for all the time in the world, plenty of room to drop that goal, and that could be the deciding point, Ian.
Yes, all head on young shoulders here from Nigel Wright. He wasn't going to wait till the last. When he had a good chance to put it in, he was going to do it, Stuart.
Yes, tremendous play there from Nigel Wright.
Well, Wakefield making mistakes, but still got possession of them. No, they've knocked on, so Leeds in with a chance. We're probably into injury time now, I think, Stuart.
Yes, I would say deep into injury time, probably only 2 or 3 tackles left. So if Leeds are going to pull this out of the bag, they've got to do it now at this scrum.
They tried a short kick over and trying to get possession. Wakefield made a mess of it. And what's happened there? The game's over, I think. Has a hooter gone or what? There seems to be a bit of confusion.
Yes, there seems to be some confusion there. The referee has stopped the clock and he's having a word with somebody.
There's kids and everybody on the field. They'll have to rush off. We don't know exactly what's happened. Has the time clock broken or what's happened? I've seen the touch judge go there. Yes, and there it goes. Mr. Morris calls time. There was a little bit of wondering what had happened there, but the first 2 points of the season for Wakefield Trinity ends up a little bit of farce at the end. Nobody knew that time was gone, and Wakefield with that drop goal from Nigel Wright from injury time probably, and has won the game for Wakefield. But what an exciting second half. Wakefield coming back, but I must say that Leeds with their 12 men defended stoutly, but in the end just tired and just couldn't combat this Wakefield attack.
Yeah, it's sufficient to say that Leeds haven't scored a point in the second half here, and it was 16 points to 4 at half time, and it's finished up 17-16. So Wakefield have done exactly what they did last year, pinched it in the last minute. As Leeds tired out as they did last year with injuries, people running out and a man off again. Is that exactly what happened last season?
You were saying this, Stuart, before we started. I hope it's not going to happen again, and it looks like it has, but Wakefield will be very pleased to get the 2 points.
They will. They've competed well in the second half. They've run the ball at every opportunity, and they seized the chance. They could see that Leeds looked like they was out on the feet with the man short. There was 2 people down with cramp at one point, Craig Innes and Gary Mercer, and they've just played to the strength. Wakefield have kept it tight, moved the ball when they had to do, and the tries have come.
But a few pluses for Leeds in defeat. I've been very impressed with Sean Wayne and some of the other players. And the defence looked very good, didn't it, early on?
Yes, it did, and of course you've got to remember that Leeds without the 3 internationals, so the gamble by Wakefield paying off this evening, first 2 points of the season, and Sean Wayne's played well, Steve Malloy, I think Gary Mercer's had a tremendous game, Andy Goodway, he moved into the centre, has had a good game. So a lot of pluses for Leeds with the 3 men coming back, and Kevin Iroh to come for the next game.
Yeah, so here at Bellevue then, Wakefield are victors by 17 points to 16. Exciting game. See you all soon.